Hello. What's going on, YouTube? This is Mr. AP Chem here, and I wanted to make a video showcasing the various modifications that I've made to my Hubsan Q4 H111 Nano Quadcopter. First off, I want to say that I absolutely love this little aircraft. I adore it. I think it's cute. I think it's a stunt devil. I think it performs amazingly. And it is so fun to fly. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you agree with me. This little thing is amazing. It's amazing. However, I did notice that there were some minor annoyances that I had with it. And so, over the course of some time, a couple weeks that I've owned this, I've made various modifications that I'd like to share with you. I'd like to start with the most obvious ones. So you may have noticed that this particular quad has these little, what looks like landing feet. And they almost look like little clouds, but what they actually are is this is made of Velcro. I bought some white Velcro from Walmart and I stuck it to the bottom of the landing feet here. And I did this for two reasons. The first reason was I noticed that the quad, when it lands, it just lands on plastic. And those little plastic hook leg assortments, they can break in a hard crash, and they transfer a lot of that kinetic energy that the quad has directly to the motors. So what I elected to do was put this layer over them to sort of cushion the impact of a crash. So that was one reason. It needed some landing feet and nice little white clouds to go with the white quad, fit the bill. But also, I also wanted a way to carry the quad with the transmitter that I use for it, which is a regular Hubsan X4 transmitter. And if you notice, I took black pieces of Velcro and I taped them, or stuck them rather, in specific locations on the transmitter itself so that I can then take the quad, place it on the transmitter, and it sticks. Notice I'm able to hold the transmitter upside down, sideways. I can even support the whole assembly from the actual quad itself, and the quad sticks to the transmitter just fine. And this allows me to then hold the transmitter like this and the quad. I can store this on a table. I can put this in a box or a suitcase or some other accessory, and I can carry both transmitter and quad together. So that was the first modification I made. Another modification that I made was to the canopy itself. I mean, aside from the replaced motor that you can see here. If you notice, I have a little twist tie right here. This little black piece. And the reason I have that there is because I noticed that when I would try to remove the canopy, what you have to do is you have to actually unhook these little tabs. This tab right here, and there's another one that broke off, but these tabs here and these little notches down here, they attach to the frame of the quadcopter, and in order to remove the canopy, you slide them off. Well, in order to remove the canopy, I noticed that it was sometimes a hassle for me to get all those little notches loose. And really, removing the canopy isn't so much the problem, it's putting it back on again that can be loathsome. So what I did was I put a little twist tie in the front, and I'm sorry my hands are obscuring the vision, but let me see. I took a little tie, I call it a twist tie, but really I took something just like this that comes with the transmitter of the quad. Notice it's very pliable, very flexible. It bends. And what you can do is, what I did was I stuck it through the quadcopter and let it come through this little hole in the top here. And what this allows me to do is this then allows me to reattach the canopy to the quadcopter much less annoyingly. So if I can demonstrate, I put the back, it's difficult to reassemble this with the camera in the way, but I can then place the canopy on the quad, and I simply bend the tab down, and now the canopy's reattached completely. And notice that didn't take very long at all. That took seconds. And so it makes removing and placing the canopy back on the quadcopter much safer. Well, not necessarily safer, but it makes it much more easier, and it's faster. Now, the third modification is not as obvious, but the reason I wanted to remove the canopy is because I wanted access to the battery. Normally, in these quadcopters, the battery is stuck to the board with sticky tape, and it's not necessarily meant to be removable or replaceable. It's meant to be stationary. It's supposed to remain completely attached to the board in case of a crash. But if the battery goes bad, you are then, allowed to remove the battery and replace it with another one. One of my main gripes with this quad is I can only fly it for 5 minutes before I then go and charge it for another 20 minutes. This thing is fun, as I said. I want to fly it as long as I can fly it for. If that's an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, I want to fly this thing as often as I can fly it. So I wanted to be able to switch the batteries out at will. As soon as one dies, I wanted to be able to quickly pop in another one and continue flying. So what I did was I removed the piece of sticky tape that was on the board and I replaced it with Velcro. Seems to be a common theme. But Velcro is amazing. It's light. It allows the battery to be held to the board without moving it, and it's easily removable. In a crash, your battery will not come off. It's not going to rumble. It doesn't move. But when I go to remove the battery, I can quickly remove it. Now, on all my batteries, I placed Velcro on those as well. And so what this allows me to do is quickly attach and reattach a battery. And I can place the battery exactly in the center of the board and then place the canopy back on without much interruption or hesitation. Look how brief that was. and I can then proceed to change batteries when they get low and continue flying. So those are the modifications I've made to my Hubsan Q4 Nano. Of course, this would also work with an Estes Proto X. If you like this video, if you like what you saw in this video, please like it, please comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll be able to do another video for you guys detailing how you make each of these modifications. And I hope you enjoy. Peace.